Eat, Sleep, Box and Repeat, and I'm delighted to be joined by Sam Antwi. Sam, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good, Paul. How are you doing?
Yes, all good. Thanks. Can't complain. Thanks very much for your time. This afternoon. We're only 3 weeks or so away at the time of recording this. We're only 3 weeks or so away from your fight on September 24th. How are you feeling now? Just that fight night is nearing.
Yeah, good. You know, it's Friday. We just finished sparring. Got a sparring session out. We're sparring some good kids, some hungry kids. You know, when you're fighting for the British title and the Commonwealth, I think it put some fire in their bellies. You know, they want to come and prove a point. So you know, sparring, so get some really good sparring, and yeah, we're well on track to peaking for this fight. Yeah.
Happy days. Obviously, this fight only got announced when the Joe Joyce and Joseph Parker fight got announced to fans in mid-August or so. But
Yeah.
I assume you've known about this fight for longer than we have.
For a little bit longer, yeah. So we've had quite a bit of time for this camp. I'm not too sure exactly how long we've known now, but yeah, you know, we're well en route to being exactly where we should be for this fight night. You know, we're training day in day out, and there's nothing left to do. You know, all hours are pointing to 24th of September now.
As you said, they're 3 weeks away really now. It is a Friday afternoon when we're recording this. How do the remaining 3 weeks look for you? Obviously, you've got fight week the week before, but you know, will you start to taper down the sparring and the training and then concentrate more on the weight making? How does it work for you?
So 3 weeks left. This is most probably going to be still a good intense 2 weeks. The last week or just over a week, maybe 10 days or so, we're going to start tapering down. Make sure the weights are already on point. So last 10 days, and we start to settle down and you know feel the hunger for the boxing again. So how me and my coach do it is we keep it intense until right before the fight, and then we want to get that feeling of wanting to hit someone, and that's how we go.
Obviously, you're fighting Echo Esserman for the British and Commonwealth, and obviously the IBF European title as well at welterweight. Manchester Arena pay-per-view card on BT Sport, absolutely huge card. First off, just look at that stage. Like, this is a massive opportunity for you on a huge show. How excited are you really at the prospect of that?
I don't know. I don't want to say I'm a bit backwards, but I kind of keep my excitement down and my nerves down until it's not me. It's just I don't really have excitement or nerves until right before the fight, and that's when I start to feel a bit more jittery and a bit more on edge. But yeah, right now it's just going through the motions. We've got that in our mind that we're not leaving that place without the titles. You know, respect to Echo Esserman. He's been a champion for a long time now. This is going to be his third defense, so this is going to be his chance to win the British belt outright. So I know he's going to come for a fight, and he's not going to want to leave there without them either. So it's gonna make for a really good show, and yeah, that's our plan is to leave there with those belts.
Yeah, obviously it is a great fight, and as you said, Echo Esserman, I think this is his fight to win the title outright. But I mean, you know, you look at the fight, you've obviously got the main event in Parker and Joyce, and you've obviously got Amanda Serrano on there as well. But you know, other than that, you've got to be one of the main chief supporting fights on the bill for sure.
Yeah, it's a great show, and we've got quite a few fights on there, quite a few title fights as well. So I believe it'll be third or fourth. I'm not too sure the running order yet, but it'll be third or fourth for the main event. They've got another world title fight. I believe it's middleweight.
Anthony Kakache?
Yes, that's the one. Yes, that's another world title fight. So that might be made chief support or the Serrano. You know, so I don't know the running order, but it's a literally an active action-packed night.
As you said there, you know, a few names just to mention. You know, Amanda Serrano. It wasn't so long ago she was fighting for all the belts against Katie Taylor at Madison Square Garden. Then you've got Joe Joyce. You know, Joseph Parker, former world champion. He's fought Anthony Joshua. You know, what does it mean to see your name on the bill next to all of these former world champions, these massive names?
Oh, it's a blessing, you know, and but we're still not thinking we've made it, because I want to be top of the bill, you know. eventually I want to be top of the bill. So here's just another formality. I'm third or fourth. You know, this is a really big stage now. You know, we've done our small horse shows, headlined our small horse shows. We've got our Southern area title, defended it. We've got an English title, defended it. Now we're going for the British. You know, we're just taking steps to prove we're the best in Britain. You know.
You mentioned there, obviously, about the southern area, then the English. Is that the route you always wanted to go down? You know, kind of just step by step, not biting off, not ripping off more than you can chew. Like, you know, just kind of start here, then progress to the English, which you've already done. Next steps, the Commonwealth and the British, then, you know, European world, or so on and so forth. Have you always wanted to do
that? To be honest with you, I never had the Southern area in mind. I never had the English in mind. Nothing like that. You know, when I started boxing, I was training with Isaac Dogbay, who is a former world champion now. And from what I saw, it was just world champion. It was just only world champion, you know. But I didn't realize there's these stages you got to pass, you know. So we're proving ourselves at each stage, and I think I like it this way actually, because you know there's no skipping. You know, there's quite a few boxers that skip stages and they get found out at a later stage. You know, going through these titles, going through these rankings, I believe this is it's gonna put me in steadfast for the biggest titles out there.
Yeah, brilliant. Obviously, we'll talk a wee bit about your opponent now. You know, undefeated. His last 3 wins have been against good opposition. He's beaten Chris Jenkins, Danny Ball, and obviously a former opponent of yours as well, Darren Tatley. What do you know about Esserman and what he brings to the table, and how you can defeat him? Obviously, you're not going to give your game plan away, but you know, what does he do well?
He's a well-rounded boxer, to be honest. There's I don't want to say there's any weaknesses, because I don't want to underestimate him. And I've seen him box, you know, and he's a good boxer, you know. As you said, his last 3 opponents were credible, and he's been champion for a long time as well. So I'm expecting to step in the ring with a champion, with a champion like myself, you know. So we're preparing in every way we can do to make sure we go in there and we get the job done.
You mentioned there, obviously, Esserman is the champion, and I think that I think I've had a quick look at the betting odds as well, and he's the favourite here in this fight too. Does that matter to you at all, or is that just I don't care? It is what it is.
To be honest, it doesn't matter. I'm always going into the away corner. To be honest, I think I want my Southern area in the away corner. I want my English in the away corner. This is the British, but it's no different. You know, I go in as the underdog. I come out with some new supporters, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. So obviously this fight's for the British. Does that mean have you vacated the English title then?
Yes, we vacated it. We actually vacated in hopes that we'd have another fight. So there was another fight put to us, but obviously that didn't fall through. We were supposed to fight in June. Obviously that didn't fall through. So now we've got an even better title now to fight for the British. That's the most prestigious belt, you know, in Britain, you know, and the Commonwealth. So yeah, I'm chuffed.
Yeah, you mentioned there about how prestigious the British belt is. You know, I think it's fair to say if you ask most British boxers, they want to win that Lonsdale belt. How much would that mean to you to lift that? Come fight night after 12 rounds or however many rounds it goes, to have you that belt around your waist?
Oh, definitely. That would solidify Samuel Antwi in British boxing, you know, and that's the aim, you know. We're taking these steps, like I said, Southern area, English, then British, Commonwealth, and we're gonna see how far we can go. You know, I've always, my coach and I've always said I'm the best in Britain, and now we're looking to prove it, make it, solidify it, and then see where we go from there.
Obviously, looking at your last couple of fights, you fought Tatley in February 2021, and then it was another year until you fought Conor Walker in February. It's now September. Do you know, in your opinion, have you been active enough? Have you been as active as you perhaps would have wanted to be?
Not as active as I wanted to be. Active enough. Not as I wanted to be again, but you know, it makes no difference. You know, I came and fought Tatley after a year out. You know, again, Conor Walker after a year out, and these are guys that are not any pushovers. You know, and we still got the job done. So it's the same case now. You know, it's been a few months again. Going to get the job done after God willing, we come out of the belts, come out with the belts. I want it to be an active career. We're going to have, we're moving into sort of managing my own career now. So I'm taking the steps to do that, and now I want to have my career the way that I want it. The way I envisioned it, which is being active, which is fighting a lot of fights in the year, and going up the rankings. Proving yourself at each level.
Yeah, definitely. Lots of things to look forward to. Would you say that it's been frustrating as such? You don't strike me as the type of person that gets too phased or too annoyed at things like that. But has the kind of inactivity frustrated you a wee bit?
It would. It should be frustrating, but at the same time, it's just like taking everything in your stride. Obviously, some things you can control, some things you can't control, and I'm not going to get too upset over things that are out of my control. But like I said, now we're taking the steps into kind of managing my own career and doing things the way I envisioned it, the way I planned. And God willing, all goes well. Then you're going to see me a lot more active in 2023.
Brilliant. Well, I think the more we see you in the ring, the better, for sure. Looking back at your last fight, obviously 6 months or so against Conor Walker, it was a close one. Obviously, you did win it unanimously, but it was a close enough fight. Do you think, looking at that performance, do you think you'll need to be better than that to beat Echo Esserman on September 24th?
100%. I believe I need to be 100% to beat Echo because, like I said, he's been a champion for a long time, and the Conor Walker fight. Not taking anything away from Conor Walker. I know I wasn't performing to my best. Probably one of my career worst performances. Going in there, I felt a little bit. I never felt how I should have felt, but we still got the job done. Unanimous decision. It was closer than I believed it should have been. I know he did win a few rounds, but closer than I believed than what I should have made it, I should say. So yeah, definitely I'll have to go into this a lot more on edge.
Obviously, that fight was on a big stage itself as well. That fight that you mentioned there last time out, the likes of Clarissa Shields and Chris Eubank Jr. were on that card. Do you feel like that experience, that big card with some huge names, will stand you in good stead for this fight? Like, you feel like you've been there on the big stage now already. It's not like you're just going from small hall all the way to a pay-per-view show. So do you think that experience, do you think you can draw on that? And do you think it can help you on fight night?
To be honest, I don't really think it makes a difference. My job is to go in there, get the job done, and then anything after that is a bonus. To be honest, I was so upset with my last fight, I didn't even stay to watch Clarissa Shields or stay to watch Eubank, because even though we won it, I was like, that was terrible, and I'm my own biggest critic. So I literally went to my hotel room, just chilled out with the family, and so it doesn't really make too much of a difference. The big fighters are fighting on the show, which is a big plus. It draws for bigger crowds, but I'm still going to go in there and do what I do best.
I've mentioned there a few times about this being a big stage. Do you feel like do you feel like you're made for the big stage, Sam? Do you think that'll be you in a couple of years' time headlining these type of bills? 100%,
100%. I believe that I bring entertainment each fight. I don't think I've been in too much of a boring fight since, even though it's only been 2 fights in 2 years, but there hasn't been a boring one. So 100%, I believe that where our name's going to be on the big stage very soon.
So obviously, I know you'll probably say that you don't want to look past this fight, and I completely get that. But ideal plan, if you do win, what is it? Would you want to win the British title outright? Is that something that you would potentially want to do? Fighting more regularly in 2023, as you said, obviously. I don't know too much about it, as I've only just heard you mention about it. But you sound like you're going to be managing your own career and wanting more fights for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, looking back, if I'm correct, I don't want to stay too long at British level. What I want to do is prove myself at each level. So once I get the British, after the first defense, if I can get 3 defenses in succession in a short period of time, then why not? But I don't want to stay too long at British level. I don't want to get comfortable, get complacent. I want to keep pushing on, to the higher opponents, to the higher pedigree of men that I can be in there with. So we're going to see how it goes, to be honest.
You mentioned there, obviously, just proving yourself at each level. So do you feel like, provided you beat Echo Esserman and, you know, maybe get a British title defense or something, is that you basically saying that, you know, you feel like you're ready to move on to the European level and beyond already?
Once we get through this fight, that's the plan. So we get through this fight, and then again, it's not about hanging about or getting complacent. Oh, we're at the top of Britain. We want to prove we're at the top of Britain, then go for the Worlds.
Brilliant. Well, finally, Sam, I'm going to ask you for a fight prediction. So, what can we expect from true sensation Samuel Antwi on fight night on September 24th at the Manchester Arena?
Pure entertainment. And we're coming out there to win. We're coming out to do it in good fashion as well. Again, we're in a away corner, so there's no laying back on this. You know, we're going to be sharp. We're going to be ready, and we're going to be ready to go.
Listen, Sam, thanks very much for your time. We do really appreciate it.
No worries at all. Thank you for having me.
All the best. Good luck.